So it's all to play for still.
I think so. Do you want to bet against us?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to hard one to digest. And Aston Villa 3, Aston Villa 2, Manchester United 3. In a game where we were 2-0 up at half time, and essentially just forgot to come out of the dressing room. It seems some really poor performances in the Aston Villa side. Even when we were 2-0 up, we had players who were performing poorly, and it looked like. It looked very much like a stodgy performance. The 2 goals we got were really well worked goals, I thought. Specifically, the first one was a goalkeeping error, but it was really good free kick in, and then the second goal I thought was really good set piece goal. But yeah, just a couple of players there that were really off it tonight. Namely, our 2 Brazilian players I thought were really poor. Even at 2-0 up, and Jacob Ramsey just hasn't found his form that he had prior to injury, and it was those 3 areas that they just at will attacked straight through the center with Ericsson and with Fernandez straight at Douglas Luiz, who never got to the pace of the game, I don't think. And then they went down the left-hand side, and Garnacho just left Jacob Ramsey for dead for the majority of the game. Diego Carlos then had arguably a hand in all 3 of the goals. So, look, we're not going to start pointing fingers at players here and stuff like that. It's been a shit couple of days with the game against Sheffield United, and now this. And the team need to pull themselves together for Burnley in 4 days' time, because the games just come thick and fast. And look, the second half, there's no defending the second half. You could see Unai Emery, he looked like he was going to knock someone out on the sideline, and I can imagine he's going to be quite irate in that dressing room afterwards, because those players have not put their best foot forward today in a game whereby all Manchester United had to do was give the ball to Rashford, attack down the left-hand side, and then Garnacho was free every single time on that, coming in from that right-hand side. He didn't have to do anything to get free there, because we had no midfielder tracking back at any stage on our right-hand side. But look, that's my thoughts. Paddy's joined us here. I'm going to bring Paddy in on a day that I'm sure we're not going to be too, we're going to call it as we see it, without, hopefully, everybody will stay tuned. I can't stay for too long. This is going to be 20 minutes max. I'm on daddy daycare duty as well, so not running away.
It'll be less.
Not running away from a shitty loss, but I am getting my points in early. Paddy, not what we wanted, not the second half performance anyone wanted, and arguably, to be honest with you, not the performance anybody wanted from 20 minutes on in the game, because we were poor enough, coming up to half time, and then we just never came out of the dressing room at all whatsoever.
Well, look, there's a lot of play here, and there's a lot of fingers you can point at, but the bottom line is we had Jacob Ramsey. I'd say he touched the ball 3 times in the first half, and one of them was to get a yellow card. He should have been hooked at half time. That was the first mistake. McGinn back into that position and bring on Diaby. That's as simple as that. That would have made things a whole lot easier. He went out the second half and did exactly the same. I love Jacob Ramsey. I have him on the back of one of my shorts, but he's not the Jacob Ramsey that was there before he got injured. He's not firing on all cylinders. There's something else. This happened during the week when we announced we were playing so well that we weren't going to rebuild the North Stand, and look what's happened since. I'm annoyed at that.
I never said we're playing so well. We're gonna. No. Don't paraphrase that, because you know that's gonna piss me off, Betty, and I'm pissed off enough as it is already. That shit's gonna piss me off. They wanted it more. Like that phrase gets up my hole like a fucking like a cockroach. Sorry,
there was 7 or 8 players out there today shitting themselves every time they got the ball. We did nothing in the final third of the pitch, apart from the fucking goals that we scored. It was really, really hard to watch when we got into positions. We got what we deserved. We were beaten by the worst Manchester United team that I can remember in my lifetime.
That's true.
And it's come, and I think they need a fucking wake up call. And if this isn't a wake up call, if this isn't, if we're still talking like this at the end of January, there's something fucking wrong, because we're in a great position and we're going to fuck it away. That's what's fucking killing me tonight. To lose 3-2, having been 2-0 up at half time, the decision not made on Jacob Ramsey really annoyed me. It really annoyed me. You messaged me after about 15 minutes of the second half, I think. Douglas Luiz had a poor game. I've no problem with people having a poor game, but Jacob Ramsey has been poor since he came back. So you have to make the decision early when that's the case. He was on a yellow card. He couldn't put in a tackle. All of these things led me to believe that he should have been substituted at halftime. So anyway, there you go. I am not as annoyed tonight as I was on Friday night after being robbed by officials. We were beaten tonight because we weren't good enough, and we just got to take that on the chin and move on. But there has to be, people have to learn from this. Players have to learn from this. We cannot be as passive as we were tonight. We can't shit ourselves when we get on the ball like we did tonight. I don't think Douglas Luiz has given the ball away more all season than he did tonight. And he wasn't alone.
Game.
He wasn't alone. Diego
Conza the same. Diego Carlos,
had his worst game for Aston Villa. I thought Conza was a bit sloppy too. Look, we're lacking a little bit. I don't know what the answer is now. I don't know what needs to be done. But I hope this is a wake up call. I hope that they sit down tomorrow and talk about this and go, how the fuck did we lose that game? We were 2-0 up at halftime. And I don't care if you're Accrington Stanley against Real Madrid, you shouldn't be fucking losing a game from 2-0 up at halftime. And that is the big question here, is how the fuck did that happen? They were offside 99 times. Like, what the fuck is going on? We should have been in complete control, and then we fucked it away. And it's fucking hard to take. It's a hard, that was the hardest one to take. So, yeah, I'm not staying here long because I'm irate. I'm annoyed. And look, it's everybody. It's not just the players I named. Ollie Watkins missing in action. Leon Bailey not defending. I
thought Bailey was okay. I thought Bailey was our only attacking threat today. He was our only attacking threat. Yeah,
attacking fine, but when we lost the ball, he wasn't recovering quick enough for me.
And I actually, do you know what I'm going to say? I think that was a tactical error, because, like, you would have expected he was the guy to be playing behind Watkins, but it wasn't. It wasn't him, and you know, we were set up in a way where it should have been him. And this is something that, if you look back to the Brentford game when Matty Cash started, Matty Cash was playing behind Watkins for a good part of that first half. I watched it today. Watched a part of it today. And there's some weirdness that's going on there about where players are finding in there. And this isn't me going back and relitigating or anything. Don't get me wrong. But Matty Cash was up high beside Watkins. I just wonder what that is. It's not that I'm criticizing it. I don't know why that would have been. And in this game as well, I saw Ramsey an awful lot tucking in to be beside Watkins, and then having to bust the gut then to go out to his left-hand wing. And, you know, he's not in the best of form. He's maybe, arguably, you could say that he's not match fit, but like he was ran at will tonight, and he just didn't have any defensive answers either, you know. So on both wings we were poor. Losing Digne as well was a bit of a killer. You know, losing Digne, I thought he was playing well. I thought he was doing better than he did way better than Moreno, and he was kind of left on an island on his own there. And I don't know what the issue is there. I wonder what that injury is going to be. I didn't even see it. Did he pull a hamstring?
Did
he pull a hamstring?
I hope it's an impact injury from stretching to try and keep that ball out of the net. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, because he didn't hit the post, like.
Did he not? Okay, I didn't see the replay. They were probably too busy showing us Mr. what's his name, the baldy head in the stand every time the ball went out of play.
Brailsford.
But anyway.
Yeah, Brailsford will be coming in as part of our medical team, I'd imagine. Like, I won't even go into this because I did have a nice little text exchange with somebody that I know that is in the cycling fraternity. But anyway, we won't get into that.
Look, the whole night annoyed me from 2-0 up and probably playing as bad as we were, even though we were 2-0 up. The commentary train blatantly wanted Man United to win this game. The TV companies need Man United to be fucking successful. And it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing to listen to that commentary. I'm embarrassed for everyone around the world. I'm sorry you had to listen to Jim Beglin if you did tonight. I don't know who everybody was listening to. But Jim Beglin is a fucking disgrace. An absolute thundering disgrace. And has no business having a microphone in his hand. So...
Well, in fairness, there's one man that'll be delighted with him because he said Tim Eric-Bunham was 18 years of age. So he just erased 2.5 years off Tim's life. So he. I
have a question for you, Neil. Wasn't there a player the other day? Was it a Man United player that got sent off for reacting to the referee twice? Was it Dallo?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
I don't know. A couple of weeks ago.
But it's never going to happen twice, Paddy. It's never good. Like, as I said, the referees will learn from the mistake and send an off United player for that if they did do it before. They'll learn from. No, look, and in fairness, look, I'm going to say it like that. In fairness to Pawson, the only criticism I really have is that he took forever and ever and ever to allow our first goal. And now I can understand why they were looking at it, but I didn't even think Watkins was offside. I'll be honest with you, I think we were the masters of our own downfall. After that, Diego Carlos was like a coat hanger on Rasmus Højlund for the majority of the second half. He couldn't understand why this young lad was leaning into him, and every time he did, Carlos just had the two hands up underneath him. Thought he was very, very, very exposed tonight against. Don't get me wrong, Højlund is a good player. He was really good at Atlanta last year. Like some fantastic goals and fantastic numbers last season.
He fucking scored a goal in 1,000 minutes.
Yeah, but Paddy,
Jim Beglin blaming John McGinn for a ball that came over the top, hit a fella's
that's
head.
it was Diego Carlos that lost him in the box. That's what I was getting at. He was like a coat hanger on him all day with his arms around him. And then the one time he was inside in the box, he gave him 6 yards. Or maybe not 6 yards. That's an exaggeration. But like, as I say, it's those lapses and those little pieces that will... That's the make or break of it, First goal, poor pass from Diego Carlos, gives the ball away. Second goal, it comes off him, it ricochets off him, and maybe Martinez has it if he doesn't, but like you can't really blame him for that second goal. At least he tried to get his body in the way of it, but just a small bit off the pace. A lot of players small bit off the pace tonight. We're not making like by saying a couple of comments there. Stop making excuses. We were poor. That's calling us poor. We were off the pace tonight. Like we're not going to. I'm not going to give out to. Oh, it's brilliant! Arsenal fans are in. Excellent. Do you know what? Hit the thumbs down button. Hit the thumbs down button. Keep hitting it. And keep commenting in as well. Yeah, keep commenting in. Call all your friends in. Get as many people in as you possibly can because we love trolls. The trolls can stay. Become a member. And you can troll us all you want. Exactly. Yeah. Anytime. I love the trolls. The trolls are the best part about it because when they come in here, the algorithm goes massive because all those Arsenal fans that are out there would never have this suggested to them, only for guys like Arsenal for Life coming in here. And they can come in here and they can pile on and slag all they want because them slagging won't actually it won't change the result. And we're talking poorly about it as well. So go on, get them all in here. Let's see if we can get 1,000 people, 1,000 people in watching the stream. But yeah, look, we missed Kamara. I think we did miss Kamara, and the reason we missed Kamara was because we didn't have anyone to bring on for Douglas Luiz in that second pivot role, and I thought he was out of steam 40 minutes into the game. He wasn't the same Douglas Luiz today. I thought Ndonker was grand. And you wanted us to win as well, Arsenal for Life. That makes two of us. But I thought that Ndonker actually did okay. I thought he did okay today. I thought he was one of the more positionally disciplined players that we had on the field today. That was the biggest thing for me, and that's the thing I think Unai Emery is going to give out stink about, is our positional discipline. We were very narrow in midfield when we went into our defensive shape. All you had to do was watch Garnacho. Like, that's why Garnacho had so much space, way too narrow coming in off the left hand side, and it's just that's the annoying part for me. We didn't have another central midfielder to bring on. We brought on young Tim. He slipped. He gave away a free, and there was no time for him to influence himself in the game.
Sorry,
but
the game was done and dusted.
The game was done at that stage. Yeah, exactly.
Were made. That's absolutely not his fault. And look, it's a collective thing. It's not an individual thing. Across the park, we were poor. Absolutely, one of our worst performances. Even at 2-0 up, I was reluctant to say anything because I knew there was a possibility that would happen, and that's the years of hurt against Manchester United, and it's a collective, 100% from Unai Emery down. This is a collective loss. It's nothing got to do with individual mistakes. We were passive. We were giving the ball away. We were doing stupid things. We were being caught out of position. Everything went wrong. Even at 2-0 up, we were poor. The only thing that went right all night was the offside trap. That's a positive.
Went all right in the first half, and then for 10 minutes in the second half, and then they got the grips with it, and that's where Garnacho's first goal comes from. Anyway, look, it's deflated. Like Sean Bjork says it right. It's deflating, but we will reset and we will have to go again. And look, as Paddy said, a game like this going into January, I'm not going to say it mightn't be the worst thing in the world, because it is. It's horrible. You know, we win this, we're level on points at the top of the league. Now we're 5 points, or was it 3 points behind top of the league, and we have Spurs now after winning are only 3 points behind us in 4th place as well. You know, so we've concertinaed backwards over the last 2 games, especially. You know, we should have minimum gotten 2 points out of the last 2 games, and we should have expected to get at least 4 points out of those 2 games, and we're only coming away from 1 point from those 2 games, and that's not the Aston Villa we've had this season. So, like, that's another thing. Like, you know, I doing the final whistle shows like this, obviously annoyed at that result. We certainly are. But it's not baby with the bathwater time. You know, like, we've criticised players today for how they played today. You know, there's a transfer window coming up. We will see reinforcements. We just will. We will see reinforcements. I've always said 2 minimum will come in January. I've had people in my DMs saying that they have it on great authority, it'll only be loans. We can't sign loans. If we do, we have to get rid of both Longley and Zaniolo. And I know people will say, get rid of them because they're both useless. But I thought Longley was absolutely fine tonight. And Zaniolo came on for 5 minutes. You know, so it won't be just loans that will be coming through the door. If those 2 guys don't go, and I think that there will be additions to this squad, because there's going to be a lot of people, a lot of players, you know, looking to get into the Premier League. They're going to be looking at Aston Villa going, what a great manager, what a great run they're on at the moment, still have European football. I think I'm going to have a crack of maybe, you know, jump into that team anyway, and having to see what we can do there, because you know, the profile, all you need is 1 good season to raise your profile. You've seen it. We've seen it a million times before. Like, to get good players and get right players in, and to maybe be that difference between having to overpay them and having them come on their own volition, is a good manager. And we do have a really good manager, albeit we had a poor performance tonight, and it was a poor performance, and it's embarrassing. And that's the killer about it. You know, 2-0 up to lose 3-2. That happened under Fergie when we had Paul Lambert managing us. That happened when Fergie was there and we had Tim Sherwood managing us. It's not really, it hasn't happened this season where we've lost points from a winning position until tonight. And that's what makes it all the more galling, you know. But at the same time, we've Burnley coming up in 4 days' time, and the team need to regroup and play against a faltering and a pretty poor Burnley side. And get it right.
Push over either. It has to be done right. It has to be done with respect. It has to be done with fluidity. I see a lot of people in the comments complaining about the ball going backwards. The ball is going backwards because the players are told that's how we regroup. That's how we reset. The ball goes back into the
resting defense,
and we start again. Yeah. That's how it works. If this happens on Saturday, We need to go again. The ball goes back. Burnley are going to park the bus. It's going to be another frustrating night like the other night. And unless we score early, they're gonna yeah, and look, they're capable of playing decent football, but it will be a defensive. You can see it straight away. It's going to be a defensive performance. They'd be very happy with a point. So that's the killer now. If we go these 3 games, and all of a sudden we've only picked up 2 points or 1 point, heaven forbid, then people are going to dramatically lose their shit, even worse than we are tonight. And the next 4 days are vital in our season, because if we don't pick something up on Saturday, we need to start again. And starting again means certain players need to have a long, hard look at themselves, and we can't have any more performances like we did tonight. It's a tough one. We've just got to suck it up now and move on. But it's tough because it's Man United, and they're the ones that have always had the fucking hex over us. That shouldn't have happened.
Yeah,
absolutely, 100% should not have happened tonight. But it's happened, and it's all about how we respond to that. And I was looking for a response tonight to what happened on Friday night. We're never going to see Unai Emery come out and go, the referee did this, the VAR did that, and that's what probably we needed on Friday night. But that performance tonight was unacceptable. It was painful, and it all comes down to now, how do we regroup, how do we get on with it, and how do we make things better?
Absolutely. And with that, we're going to finish up the podcast, because I've got one child crying and the other one waking up because the first one was crying. So yeah, he's going to be like me in about 10 minutes time. For everybody who's enjoyed their St. Stephen's Day, Boxing Day, or the 26th of December, if you've been having a few drinks, continue drinking. Don't let this stop you. If you haven't had a few drinks, well, maybe this might knock the edge off the result tonight. If you're like me, you haven't had a few drinks, go away and have a few. And if you don't drink at all, well, listen, turn over to whatever Christmas special is on and get that game out of your mind, because Saturday is coming thick and fast, and we'll be back again with a preview. And I'm not going to be around for the Team Sheet Tantrum or the full-time podcast on Saturday, I've just realized, because I'll be at a wedding. Yeah, and Paddy's only finding this out for the very first time right now. But I will be watching the game through on somehow. And hopefully Aston Villa can get back up in the horse again on Saturday against Burnley. But everybody, listen, go away and have the best night of your lives tonight. Forget about the result. Continue doing whatever you were doing earlier on. And we'll see you again for a preview and review show. Hope you all had a fantastic Christmas. And as we're coming up to the new year, I'll hold it to wish you a happy new year until later on in the week. But yeah, we'll see you again later, everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy. And as always, up the Villa.
Up the Villa.